Hey everyone, welcome to Founders Live Boston. Oh my gosh, we have missed everybody so long. I know AJ is usually sitting right here beside me, but you know what? He is in Palm Springs, and I think he had a little internet happen, so I'll bring him in as soon as he's back. But we are so happy you are here to cheer on these phenomenal four founders. And I want to bring these four founders up for a second before I play the video to show you these are who the folks are that are pitching tonight. Check them out, get a good feel, get ready to send them some beautiful love and good vibes for pitching tonight because they are amazing. And you know, it takes a lot of courage to get up in front of people and pitch your business. So welcome to Founders Live Boston. And as always, after we greet you, wherever you're hailing from, we play the Founders Live video. So you are reminded about this phenomenal international organization. Here we go. See you on the other side.
Founders Live is the global venue for modern entrepreneurs, especially during these very challenging times. The direct impact of COVID-19 is currently being felt around the world, and it could get worse before it gets better. We are here to help you through these challenging times by connecting you to the people, information, and resources meant to move you forward as you start your next project.
We see an opportunity to bring the resources and capital and connections to the people that need it and the people that can use it, no matter where they live in the world. My honest opinion is, no matter what the economic climate is in the world, Founders Live can be important. In the good times, when it's booming, we're here to help grow companies and have them access capital that's flowing around the world and really be a fun, great event and global platform that powers entrepreneurship. In the tough times, we actually think we can be the answer, given the fact that if people are actually getting laid off and unemployment starts rising, well, the choice to start their own business is front and center, and Founders Live is right there to help them grow. I believe the secret sauce of Founders Live lies in the combination of these three words: inspiration, education, and entertainment. Inspiration is rooted in the energy and the passion that every single attendee has. The education is the information that we're bringing to people that they otherwise couldn't find. Founders Live Online helps solve entrepreneurs' daily challenges. If you have a question that you're just wondering, like, I don't know what to do here, you simply need to just type it into Founders Live and someone else will answer it right there for you. And the entertainment is the fun. We believe business should be fun, we believe it should be casual, and we believe it should be inspirational. Founders Live is the perfect place for you to connect with other entrepreneurs and to be inspired.
So how about this international platform? Isn't it amazing? If you're not from Boston and you're thinking, wow, I want to bring Founders Live to my city, reach out. Let's make that happen because you impact lives as a city leader. AJ and I have such a good time showcasing our local founders because let me show you something right here. Founders Live, it's everywhere. Okay, you can see all the different locations around the world. And Founders Live is all about opening doors for you. It wants to make your life easier and better as a founder and have you feeling less isolated. So this is why we love being part of the Founders Live community, AJ and I do. And we love coming here on our pitch event and sharing all the deliciousness with you. And check out the folks who help us make this happen. You're going to meet the wild and crazy and oh so wonderful Robert tonight. Hey, AJ. Let me just bring AJ up front. Hi,
I made
AJ.
it technical difficulty. We're here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, everybody understands. So, AJ, I went through the video and chatting with folks, but look, we have incredible partners that powered this event. Why don't you talk about them a little?
We do. Of course, we have First Republic Bank that will be powering our startup trivia, 10 questions. Amazon gift cards galore to the winners. We have our buddies at CIC Boston. We have Amazon Web Services giving out thousands of dollars in AWS credit. And we have a lot of other goodies from other companies like Synergy, Media Prepared, and Startup Life with my gracious co-host, Andy Lyons. So excited. It's going to be an awesome event. We're going to have fun. We've got some super cool sound effects this month. So it's going to be exciting.
I'm looking forward to that. So talk about what every presenter gets when they pitch at a Founders Live.
So all presenters are awarded with 5K in AWS credit, but the grand winner gets 10K in AWS, and that goes a long way, folks. Server costs and hosting, that costs a lot of money, and there's several tech companies presenting tonight too, so that could definitely go a long way. They also get UI UX design review session with my company, Synergy Consulting. We build amazing web platforms and mobile apps. You also get 30 minutes of a Startup Life founder coaching session with you, Andy Lyons. And you also get a featured interview on the Founders Live global podcast that's getting rave reviews in the industry, and you get to tell your entire story to the global Founders Live community, which is pretty exciting.
It's very exciting. And hi, AJ. This is why sticking around and voting for your favorite founder tonight is so important. We're going to put up a QR code at the end. You'll be able to vote because that winner gets to come back in, get additional questions from you, the audience, as well as from our wonderful expert, but then they win. So your voting is so important. AJ, I want to play one of our wonderful sponsors who we don't get to see right now because of the pandemic, but who we enjoyed for 2 years at CIC Boston. Shall I go ahead and play a little howdy do from Solomon?
Ooh.
Let's do that, okay? Yeah, here we go.
Hi, my name is Solomon Flax, and I am the Boston Events Lead at CIC. CIC is proud to support Founders Live as part of our mission to help solve the world's problems through innovation. We're a global community within which innovators and entrepreneurs can meet and collaborate, and we help them grow their businesses by offering world-class infrastructure, attentive hospitality, flexible office space, and by supporting amazing events like this one. So if you're curious about co-working or just want to get involved in CIC's vast startup ecosystem, you can reach me at Flax, F-L-A-X, at CIC.com, or by visiting our website, at CIC.com.
I have no idea why that happened, but also I want to do a quick on Eric's Media Prepared. Eric Cox right here. Free 30-minute session. So those were two sponsors I wanted to go a little deeper in before I start my housekeeping on how this event unfolds. So we have people from around the world today, but how about our Boston peeps? How about somebody saying hi in the comments? Give us a thumbs up. How you doing with all the snow? If you're from another location, let us know where you're hanging from. And if you're a startup founder, share your business in a one-liner in the comment segment so that we can say hi and shed a little light on you with a shout out. So what's going to happen next is, and this is how the event will unfold, is Robert is going to come in. He's the sponsor we talked about. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to go through 5 trivia questions. And AJ, what do the people win if they get the answer right?
So they all win gift cards from Amazon.
Excellent.
So I know Christmas shopping is over, but you probably still got some
there's,
to buy,
so Valentine's Day.
We'll get those out to you.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll ask you to share.
That's right.
We'll ask you to share your email and each winner. So be ready to answer those questions. And then when that's done, the 4 featured founders, boom, 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 will be pitching. And they go one after another. And then what happens after they have their 99-second pitch, it's up to you, audience, to ask those great questions. And you always do. You never let us down. You always ask the best questions and go in a little deeper into the founder's work. And then we bring in our expert panelists. And let me just share who we have tonight. Yay! All the way from Silicon Valley, where it's nice and toasty warm. It's Tony Clemendor. He's founder and startup advisor, the Founders Forge. And he is amazing. We're not going to say too much like Simon Cowell of Founder Coaches, but he knows how to get right to the point. And I have to tell you, if you're a founder out there watching, you will benefit so much from the kind of questions that Tony asks, because we all need to up our game as founders. So AJ, we got a few people. Hey, Solomon. Oh, you've gotten a haircut since that video. Yay. That's wonderful. And Justin, so glad. Brighton, woohoo. And Eric, so good to see you. One of our sponsors, that Media Prepared that I shared. Hey, Shanti. San Francisco. Awesome. That's great. And Brian, who is one of the co-founders of our first presenter today. So that's wonderful. And from Needham. Woohoo. Awesome. I'm going to try Priya Yamvada. Yeah, thank you so much for letting us know. And Camille, you're in from India. Yay. I love that. And Southern Cal's in the house and Central. Okay. Got it both working. And one of our favorite experts and local angel investors and mentors to startups, No Fall. Mwah, 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 mwah. So good to see you. Yes, the Andy squared. You got it. And yay, Solomon, you're right there in downtown Boston. And Paulina, one of our favorites and an expert as well. She's doing her second year, I think, at Hult MBA program from beautiful San Francisco. Great to see you, Paulina. Whew. Good to know folks are in the house. So again, audience, you always ask the best questions. Get ready to do it. But first, we're going to bring in Robert, who is going to help us. Trivia Pursuit.
You say help us, but I think you guys don't need any help at all. AJ and Andy, the Andys, it's good to be back. 2021 is going to be our year. I can't swear on air because my media team told me not to do that anymore. So let's fucking go.
There you go. You got a big crowd out coming out for you, Rob.
I know, man. I'll tell you what. I feel like Tom Brady going to my 10th ship. You know what I mean? I'm not the GOAT yet, but I'm working at it. And
hey, AJ, did you notice he's beardless?
With the wife, she said no moss on the beard. She didn't like it. She gave me 10 months, which is a sign of patience. You know, you have to admire someone with that much patience. And she finally said, "It feels like I'm kissing my dad. I'm done." And I said, "Okay, I will go shave this terrible thing off." So we got to do what we got to do. Good advice from your media team. Thank you, Eric.
One of our prior presenters, Adjoa, how are you? Oh, she's doing so well with her startup. It's so exciting. All right, so let's run over here and we'll start. Everybody ready? Okay.
I'm ready. I think I can read. Got my blue light glasses on. You know what I mean?
I feel like twinsies.
Okay. Mine are free. That's the way to do it.
Oh, here we go. Question
right,
one.
I am a term for a successful company that combines the word that describes a privately held company valued over $1 billion with a head count on a basketball court. What am I called? I'll break this down. I'll give it 10 seconds and I'm going to give a hint.
AJ's got music, but his audio is a little sketchy.
Don't do the music, AJ. It's coming through all messed up.
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming through messed up. So it's a unicorn, and for those who don't watch basketball, there's 10.
Guys. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, everybody, you know, there's that 15-second delay, depending if you're on Facebook or YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So while we're waiting for people to answer that question, I'll say hi to Gary in Seattle. Hi, Gary.
Gary in Seattle.
In the house. So, yeah, from Boston, we love. Oh, and we've got our trivia provider right here, Stefan from Quick Wit. Yay!
Stefan really upped the game on the trivia. We gotta be honest about it. When he brought it up, I mean, not that Andy was doing a bad job, but like when Stefan got involved, it was like a whole new level. I mean, we had questions that didn't get answered that had never happened before in Founders Live trivia. You know?
Never.
It's pretty incredible. I don't know where he gets this stuff. Does anybody know this term? This is a new term.
It was new for me. We might have to, I think we've been going.
Give him one more minute. Give him one more minute.
Okay, one more minute, everybody. Okay, and Allison. Hi, Allison. How you doing?
Allison, long time no see. Just kidding. We just saw
she can relate. One of her founders just had a wonderful raise as well.
Woo!
And Robert was just sharing, Allison, that one of his people had a beautiful raise. So you know what? We just all hands up and a couple of snaps. Excellent. Okay, so somebody, come here, started to say something. Let's see. M. That's not enough.
No.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to say it right.
Rob, why don't you give a hint?
I mean, I did. I said it's a unicorn combined, and there's 10 players on a basketball court. So the word, what word? Yes. Decade. I mean, that's really giving it away at this point. But somebody pieced that together. Somebody on Facebook. Come on, tonight's Facebook's night. Andy's texting it in. He's trying to. AJ's like trying. He's like, it's my birthday. Do those Amazon. Yes, in the private chat. For the startups.
There we go, Dan. All right, Dan. Going on to question 2, everybody.
Would you want to tell them what it is? Because nobody else can see it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we're going to use it another time.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. We'll have to think about that. Robert, what would make you happy?
No, it's AJ's birthday. So
AJ, what would make you happy?
What would make me happy?
Do you want us to tell the answer or hold it for a later date?
As we say in Boston, we got to win. We got to win.
We got to give it to Allison. That's close enough. We're going to give it to her. It's a deck of corn, but deck of corn works too. Let's do it.
And Dan,
it is a deck of corn. My eyes are going bad.
All right, Allison, you're a winner, as we like to say here in Boston. Question 2.
Founded by 3 college students in California, I recently had an IPO. When mentioning my name, you're usually craving something from our partners. What company am I?
All right.
I haven't used this one. I got to be honest. I don't use this app, but I know a lot of people who do.
Yeah,
This is easy.
My favorite local pizza joint uses them.
Yeah.
Is that?
I cut out the carbs, Andy. I got real fat at the end of the year. I got to be honest.
COVID-19, it's right there around the body.
I put on COVID 38. You know what I mean? I was like double or nothing. And then I was like, let's turn this around. Nobody wants a fat Robert coming back to the city. Nobody wants to see that.
Okay, so we have a winner. We have Solomon.
Yes, Solomon. Solomon.
Absolutely. And we had someone come up with Grubhub. Close. Thank you, Justin. And Adra said slice. I like that. I don't know slice either. Jeez. Okay, we have 2 winners. We know how to find Allison, and we know how to find Solomon. So won't need your emails. And let's go on to question number 3.
Question 3. Sorry.
No, I go.
Helping with your college books. Nowadays, I can even help you with tutoring and internships. I was founded the same year that we met Hagrid on screen. What company am I?
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, that's just
Wow.
never would have gotten that one.
Wow. That's a tough one. For me.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Dude, Tony in the chat. Wow.
Wow, Brian, way to knock it out of the park. Okay, first of all, Nofal has a very important question, Robert.
What is it? Oh, it got real long, Norval. It was down to here and I trimmed it to here. It's up a few inches. It just didn't look right when I shaved the beard. So I had to bring it up a little bit, but it's still
Can you still do the man bun?
It's in the man. Yeah, it's bunned up.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because we had to cut Matt's and then it interfered with his man bun. Okay, So Brian is one of the co-founders who is pitching tonight. Does he qualify?
Absolutely, he does.
Beautiful. Brian Ho wins. And let me say, Shanti, you were right behind him. I mean, he just said he got in there first. So you guys were probably seconds apart, but thank you for that. Excellent question. And of course, I know how to find Brian. So great. I've got your email, Brian. Perfect. And, worthy attempt there. Awesome. All right. So the next question coming right up, question 4.
It took over 6 years to develop me. In 2017, I featured a popular arm swinging dance favored by children and teens globally. I have over 200 million customers. What product am I? Oh, echo there. I almost said it. Oh. I'm rusty. I almost said it out loud. Oh, no.
This is, if you're under 22, this is like a no-brainer. Not NP, but close. And nope.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. And many kids play it on their phone. And very addictive. Yes, Justin. Yes. Winner.
Justin's on it. I bet you Justin plays Fortnite. I got to say it. Justin plays Fortnite. That's an accusation. I want proof you don't.
So, Justin, please send me your email. You can ping me, LinkedIn, whatever's easiest for you. If you want the whole world to know, just put it in the thread here. But find me so we can get you your $15 gift card from Amazon. And we got a big virtual hug coming in for Uruguay. Rodrigo, thank you.
Wow. From Uruguay. Awesome.
Yes. Anyway, good attempt on the floss and Vine.
You got the right dance.
Okay, we're on to our last question, everybody. Audience, you're the best. Here we go.
All right. Question number 5. I come into play when your startup shifts its business strategy to accommodate industry changes, customer preferences, or other factors that impact the bottom line. What word am I? You forgot one important one when you have like an investor that doesn't like what you're doing anymore.
Or how about a pandemic?
Or a pandemic. I mean, there's a lot of there's been
a lot of this happening given the pandemic.
It's also a basketball move. Again, basketball coming up. There is an actual thing in basketball.
Okay, so our expert in the private chat is rocking every question. He's showing off now.
Dan said traveling. Can we give him something? Like, that was a great answer. Thank you, Dan.
Guys, we had 3 in a row from YouTube, but No Fault got the buzzer fastest.
No.
Andy, you got to read the next comment by Dan. That's the best. He's like traveling. The big pivot.
The big pivot. Yes. Oh, that's good. But, Shanti, thank you. You were absolutely right. And yes, Ajwa, pivot is your middle name. You got that. We've heard enough of that pivoting for the last 11 months. That's for sure. Thank you, Robert. That was wonderful. Thank you, everybody. And congratulations to the winners who are getting their $15 gift card from Amazon. I got your emails except for Justin. So find me, Justin, because I want to make sure you get this. Robert, I know that you will not be here for the second half, right?
Yeah, I'm early to bed this evening. So I'm gonna bounce out. I'll be around for a little bit watching these startup founders get after it, pitching it away. And then at some point, my internal clock's going to turn off like the old man I am, and I'll be laying down. AJ, I know this wasn't the case on your first birthday, brother. We were up late that night, but tonight On dry January, I gotta go to bed early.
Okay, dry January.
I hear you, Rob.
Don't worry, AJ's drinking for
You gotta get the food sleep.
We'll be back soon, baby. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Carl Malone pivot. Eagles traveling.
We love this.
One of the best to ever do it. One of the best to ever do it.
The best. Okay, Justin, excellent. Oh, I love that. Thank you, thank you. I will get you that. Wonderful. All right, Robert. See you. Bye. Okay, Janet, you can get ready. We don't have to do anything because I've got your deck up for you. Shall we bring in Janet and say a howdy do and introduce her to everybody? Let me get her banner going.
Yes.
Hello, Janet. How are you?
Hi, I'm good and so happy to be with you. Thank you for having me.
We are thrilled to have you too. I'm going to remove AJ from the stream. He may take your advice and come in from his phone as well. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. Let's pull up the beginning of your presentation. Okay, audience, get ready. Think of some really great questions to ask Janet about this amazing business that she has founded. I am going to tell a certain someone just a second.
One minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Hi, I'm Janet. I'm the CEO of Airblock Technologies. Next, please. Every aircraft and every aircraft part is an asset as they need maintenance, and this maintenance needs to be documented to ensure the highest levels of safety of the industry. But right now, this process is painful, complicated, time-consuming, and error-prone. Next. This makes the industry loses billions of dollars in revenues and penalty fees. Then this is just the tip of the iceberg. Next. Airblock is an aviation assets management reimagined. Airblock is a SaaS platform that could turn around times and save industry money. Next, please. There is a huge opportunity for Airblock. There are 30,000 aviation businesses that can be using Airblock right now in North America. Next. In terms of the go-to-market trajectory, we want to scale to 10 million annual revenue within the next 3 years and 100 million annual revenue within the next 5 years. That is going to be to targeting private and commercial airlines and also enterprise and public sector. Next. What is the industry doing now is holding aviation businesses back. As Excel spreadsheets or very expensive softwares that we're using right now, but Airblock can uniquely solve 4 of the industry needs. Next. This is the Airblock team, and this is a team of experts and leaders in aviation business. Next.
Time's up. Great job. Can I go to your last slide?
Yeah, there are people asking for Airblock right now, and if you want to join us as an investors, you are so welcome.
Wonderful. Okay, everybody, round of applause. Yay. Let me bring AJ back into the room. We'll start the questions. Hey, AJ.
Congrats, Janet.
Wow. I mean, that's, it's a deep business model, and I know it's tough to not get it, get it all in that 99 seconds, but you give us and the audience and the expert a lot of material to ask questions. Yeah, you almost did it. AJ, while we wait for questions to come in, you got a few. Yay, go Janet. You got nicely done. Very exciting niche idea.
Janet's got a big fan club out there, huh?
Yes, she does.
I have a question before we bring Tony out or welcome any additional questions from the audience. But Janet, so I see some of your target markets clearly identified. Have you thought about entering maybe like the military sector, possibly like the Air Force? Because I know there's a lot of inefficiencies there. So is that a direction you feel you may take in the later future?
Yeah, we have targeted these public sectors in the short term. At the beginning, we started thinking this is gonna be our long-term plan, but we see a niche with NASA and some other public sectors that can be a very good business for us.
Got it.
Great. So Lewis from the audience has a question. I've seen similar admirable attempts to integrate the blockchain into supply chains, but they have trouble gaining adoption across multiple participants. How will you solve this and gain their buy-in?
Yeah, we are targeting the small suppliers in the smaller suppliers in the supply chain of aviation. So we have the Walmart strategy to target the small ones, then come up with a big network, then we can sell to the big enterprises.
Great. I tell you, this audience always asks great questions. And I'm always curious, why you, why Brian, what compelled you as founders, and why do you think you're uniquely qualified to be doing this?
Yeah, I've been working in the aviation industry for 15 years. I know the industry very well in the perspective of manufacturing and maintenance stations, and also as an airlines consultant.
Yep, look at that
And
team.
Brian is so good in marketing, and he's an amazing CTO as well.
Great, great, great. I'll go back to the last slide again. Any other questions out there in the audience? If not, we're going to bring in our special expert, and AJ and I will give you two a couple of minutes, okay? All right. Welcome, Tony.
Hey.
Let me just let you say hi to everybody out there in the world. Here's Tony, everybody. He's our wonderful expert joining us today. AJ and I are going to slip on out and give you two time to chat. Go for it.
All right, Janet, first of all, I want to say congratulations. It's always hard to be the person that goes first. I remember, when you had to get up in front of class and give a presentation, it was the one that knew once you got it done, you could sit back and relax. So I'm gonna say congratulations on that. I'll give you the good and the bad. So the really good is it's obvious that you've done your homework. You've got a tremendous amount of knowledge in terms of what you're doing. You've got all the right information on your slides. That said, and because of the information that you've got on your slides, I'll tell you that clearly, like I said, you've done the homework. The problem is you have too much information on your slides. You broke one of the cardinal rules that I see founders breaking all the time. And Seth Godin had a quote that I'm going to take out of context, but I think it applies here. He says, "Your deck is not a teleprompter. You can't read from your deck. That it's sort of redundant, it's pointless, and it's not helpful." You need to understand that when people are listening to your presentation, they can do one of two things. They can either sort of pay attention to you, or they can pay attention to your slides. And if they're trying to read a gazillion bits of information on your slides, they can't process well what you're saying. And if they're listening to you, they can't read a bazillion things that are on your slides. The purpose of the slides, when you're using it as a presentation, is specifically just to leave them with one main idea. What is the thing that I'm trying to emphasize for that particular slide? Like you have a slide where the main thing you're trying to emphasize is this is a huge market. The thing you're trying to emphasize is there's a lot of money being lost right now because people can't track these things. So for each slide, there should be one central point, and you should try and emphasize just that point with what's on the slide itself. The rest of it should come from what you say when that slide is up. Another example of a slide, for example, that had way too much information. Your team looked super impressive, but you spent about 8 seconds on a slide with about 5 minutes worth of reading. And so it becomes the name, and then like tiny, and we can't see or read any of it. So all of that extra stuff is meaningless. Basically, you could have gotten away with almost a shortened version of your headline and sort of the names. And at a high level, in a very short pitch like this, just our team brings in X number of years of experience doing this. What you want to do is you want to emphasize the pieces of your team's history and experience that are specifically relevant to what you're doing. So if you're doing sort of supply chain, you've got a supply chain expert, you've got an aviation expert, you've got sort of a blockchain expert. you just want to emphasize that you've got the expertise to sort of to get to Andy's question about why us. You want to show that basically you put together the right team for the right moment. You know, Robert was talking earlier about sort of basketball teams. Like imagine that you've got someone, you need someone for each of the positions on the team, sort of just at a high level, say, we've assembled a team of world-class people with backgrounds in this, 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 and this. On a short version, that's enough. You don't need all of the detail underneath. You could just have the name and the title, all right? The go-to-market, you had an interesting slide that I've never seen before, which was go-to-market trajectory, which is not quite what you see typically. And what you want to do is you don't want to be too different when you're doing slides because investors are sort of trained animals. We're used to seeing the same things in the same places, and it just makes it so that we don't have to think about what we're seeing. So in your go-to-market, you've got sort of a stages thing, which because you were doing trajectory, what the go-to-market slide is really supposed to be is an answer that you gave later to another question, which is, how is it that you're going to approach the market? And basically, why are you going to get them to adopt your product? What's the reason why they're going to change from whatever they're doing now and adopt your strategy? And so you mentioned later when someone talked about military, you said we're initially going to go to small, private, you know, so you mentioned basically your go-to-market strategy in the answer to that question. Here's who we're going to approach. Here's sort of the way that we're going to approach them and the reason why they're going to want to adopt us. And it makes sense. And for go-to-market, you need to say, here's how we're going to start, because what investors know is in the beginning, you don't have a worldwide organization. You've got a few people who can only do so much at a time. And what you can't do is boil the ocean. So you have to sort of pick an arrow, a spear tip and say, here are the people we're going to go after first. They're the low-hanging fruit because they experience the pain point that we're solving the most and have the biggest reason to adopt us and sort of take a chance on us. So those are kind of the highlights. And the other thing is little things. I didn't see anything about competition. I didn't get a sense of how you're doing what you're doing, just sort of this vague notion of we're going to do this thing. It would be nice if I had some sense of it, because I know I've seen a bunch of other companies that are sort of talking about supply chain issues and saving money on exactly what you're talking about. So it'd be nice to know how you're differentiating yourself from the other people that are out there.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Founders, I mean, I might just do this like as a screen as a snippet. This is brilliant advice for anybody who's pitching, from the beginning with the Seth Godin quote to really helping people understand how you're going to market and how to present it in a meaningful way. Whew, Tony, awesome.
And I haven't had any caffeine today. I used to drink 8 Diet Cokes a day. Today I've had half a can. So this is
about my energy. Oh my gosh, Tony. So glad you're holding back.
Yeah, half a can today. I'm saving the other half for dinner.
I'm going to reach out to, and Brian, in the comment threads, Justin asked a great question, or Janet, you can go into YouTube and into the thread there and answer Justin's wonderful question. We don't have time now. We have to go on to the other founders, but that's a great question. We're coming to you, Justin. Thank you so much for that great question. And another, where's my clapper? Round of applause, Janet. Thank you so much.
Janet, well done. Nice job.
Tony's absolutely right. It's so hard to be the first one to go. Yay. Tony, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Janet, thank you. Whew.
I need to bottle some of that energy Tony has and sell it. I could sell that.
All right. Well, we have another great founder ready to come up. Let me get his banner ready. It's Dan. He's going to pull up his screen share for us and get ready. And audience, thank you. Great questions. Yes, agree, Bruce Hoffman. Really good advice. And AJ, we've got a great presentation coming up. I think it'll be the perfect contrast for and this is, everything is always a learning moment, everyone. And when we have our businesses and we're sharing them, it's so exciting. Yeah. And we want to tell everybody everything and show them. It's so hard to hold back. So I understand how easy it is to want to put it all right out there. All right. Ta-da. Okay, so AJ, I'm going to just send you down here into the green room. I'm going to ask you know who. Hold on.
1 minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
What up, Founders Live? I'm fired up. I don't know if you guys know, but GameStop was stopped trading today on the centralized trading platform Robinhood, and they're screwing over you and I to profiteer their billionaires and their hedge funds. And centralized companies are not only doing this in the financial markets, they're doing this in every industry. And industries are going to have to be on watch because the centralized systems are coming at their heels. In VPN, this is the same problem. You probably know of NordVPN or ExpressVPN, and these centralized VPN companies say that they're not logging user data, and they are logging your data, and NordVPN was hacked in 2019, and it's proven. There's significant challenges with the one company we're trusting to use our private data online that are taking advantage of our trust. This entire system is flipped on its head into a centralized network. Sentinel is a peer-to-peer distributed bandwidth marketplace. What does that mean? That means that if you have excess bandwidth at your home, you can offer this bandwidth as a non-fungible asset to the network and receive passive income for using this, offering the bandwidth to the network. Or you can be an individual that wants to route your traffic through someone else's IP address in a decentralized system and be able to have obfuscate and have truly private data online. Exidio, the company that I work for and I'm the CEO of, is the software development company building on the Sentinel network. So if you're a software company that already exists as a VPN company, you want to transition to decentralized VPN, or you already have a product, and you have users that you want to plug in to offer them privacy online, you can hire Exidio and we'll build in your front-end application. But we're not theoretical. We're a real business that already has significant users. We put out our first desktop application in 2018, and in 2019, we put out our first mobile application, and it was July of last year that we completely overhauled the application based on user feedback, and we have over 100,000 downloads just on the Google Play Store alone, and we're nearing 150,000 users across all of our platforms. Not only that, we have 3,000 reviews on the Google Play Store. We'd love for you to check it out right now and have secure private access online using the Exidio's Sentinel distributed decentralized VPN.
Woo.
This is our team.
Oh, no, you're done. You're done, Dan.
Awesome. Download the application today.
It's done.
Woo. I mean, on fire. You must have been, what, mainlining with Tony there, for crying out loud.
I'm fired up. If you guys haven't been following, centralized systems are coming at us, and we're not going to stand for it.
That's right. I felt the passion. I wanted to just become part of the movement with you.
Let's do it.
So good.
Here's the easiest way to do it, Andy. You can download the application right now and have secure decentralized VPN.
I'm all over it. Seriously. Okay.
One of the 150,000 people around the world already using our application.
And Scott says, preach. And Dan looking awesome. Go, man. So many insights. Yes. For Airblock Tech. Yes.
Good
and
job,
then
Dan.
excellent, excellent, excellent. There we go. And I'm hearing the noise that you're talking about, AJ, now. So Danny doesn't need no Diet Cokes.
Never. So it's not my problem.
I love it. And Sentinel's on fire. Great concept. And it works. And another go, Dan, from a fellow founder here pitching tonight. Okay. AJ, question. Oh, AJ's muted. I'm going to go. Audience, any questions? I have to go download this right now because Dan told me to.
That's right.
You're so, I mean, was this like a pivotal moment? I know we had pivot in our trivia questions, but what happened with Robinhood, right? And Reddit, this is why you're so fired up, right? And
yeah, I mean, this is just one more example of us beholden to centralized systems that act like they're in favor of us until it's not convenient for them. And then they show their true colors. And NordVPN does the same thing to their user base. So we need to have more secure private access online, and we need decentralized systems to provide that. Exidio, we are the company, we don't have access to this decentralized network. We're just building the front-face applications on top of it.
Okay. And so that people, and I thought it was really interesting, your point about how you can take some of your extra bandwidth and monetize it.
That's right.
Like the folks who, are using their solar panels and they're, selling that to the farms or wherever.
Exactly.
Extra electricity.
It's a commodity. Now you get it.
Unbelievable. I love that. Something fierce. AJ, do you have a question? Okay. I'm not seeing any questions from the audience. So yeah, because I know they're all just going, what? Let me go check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our expert because he's moving around. Oh, wait, Lewis. I knew I could count on you, Lewis. So Sentinel is the DVPN, and Exidio redistributes extra user bandwidth to Sentinel users. If so, why doesn't Sentinel just do this?
That's a good question. That's not exactly the right architecture, but Luis is picking up on it. Sentinel, the network, offers peer-to-peer bandwidth. Exidio doesn't have anything to do with it. Exidio is the software development company that can build and integrate onto the Sentinel network. Exidio is not the only company that can build on Sentinel. Anyone can build on it, but our technical expertise makes us uniquely positioned to be able to offer that integration on top of the Sentinel network.
Awesome. Okay. And Todd says, good move towards improving privacy and creating a network with incentive. I didn't even think about that. Awesome. I'm going to bring Tony in. Hey,
Okay.
Tony.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Awesome. Like I said, fired up like you.
Okay. Here's the thing. The good thing about me is I'm old enough that I don't care whether or not people think I'm stupid. So I'm going to ask some questions that may make me seem like I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to start by saying I'm not quite sure what's going on. So your pitch started at the beginning talking about the whole GameStop thing and Robinhood and the rich having taking this bandwidth and using it so that they can benefit the rich and not the poor. But when I listen to your pitch, what your pitch sounds like is, it sounds like what you're offering to the masses is more secure access so that they're not as likely to get hacked. Their information is not as likely to be seen. I'm not sure how I see your Exidio stopping the GameStop fiasco
at all. But it's an example of decentralized systems that are more robust than centralized ones where they can pull the plug on their users.
But here's the thing. You've got 99 seconds to sort of convince people why what you're doing is great. Okay, when you go way far afield and start talking about things that aren't exactly directly connected with what you're doing, you've wasted some part of that 99 seconds for a couple of reasons. One is everybody that's on this call doesn't know the details of what happened with Robinhood and GameStop and the Reddit subreddit and on all of that stuff. So now you've got them, we started on that path and they're going, how do I connect what happened with those things with Exidio? So the first 30 seconds of your pitch is wasted with people going, I don't understand how it's all connected. If I were you and I only had 99 seconds, I would talk about the problem. And the problem is your data is not secure. Your access isn't secure. You don't have secure access. We're going to give you secure access. It's really simple. But when you go into too many places, it's a distraction. What you want to do is you want to say, here's what's going on. Here's the trend. Here are the people who are saying, I have a problem. There's a growing consensus of people who are feeling like, the terms and conditions of apps are sort of getting to the point where privacy is an issue. I don't know what's going on with my stuff. I feel like I'm vulnerable to be hacked. Those are the problems you're solving. So focus on, here's the problem. Here are the people that have the problem. Here's the trend that shows that an increasing number of people are dissatisfied with the existing solutions. We are that solution. So spend more time talking about, here's the problem, and then make a direct line with how Exidio is dealing with that problem. All the other stuff is a waste of your breath and your time, because especially if you're doing it as an investor pitch, because as an investor is going, what are you doing and how are we going to make money from it? And so they'd want to know, okay, now tell me a little bit about the business model or something that says how you're going to get, how you're going to make a profit, how you're going to make revenue. When you talk about things like we've got existing users, I love the traction. I love that we've got 60,000 users and 100,000 downloads. Not really impressive. And I'll tell you why. Everybody on this call has some things on their phone that they've downloaded that they've looked at once and never looked at another time again. Every investor I know has heard some founder say, I've got 5 million downloads. But when you ask about active users, they've got 5,000 active users.
Here's the data.
Right. So I'm saying you probably have the data. I'm talking about what made it to the presentation.
Yeah.
So if you've got active users, talk about active users. Stay away from downloads. Nobody gives a shit, because downloads show a brief moment of marketing effectiveness. You got people to download, but it doesn't say that people care about what you offer and that they're using it and engaging. So when you're showing your traction, show the engagement. Show we've been able to identify people that care about this. We've been able to get them on the platform, and either a cohort analysis or something. Here's how people have used and continued or increased their usage of our platform, showing that what we built is something that they need. Got it?
That's good advice.
Because what you don't want to be is you don't want to be that thing that somebody downloaded once and said it doesn't work really well and it's gone. Investors see that every day. And so I'm just telling you now, 99% of us just hear downloads and we blank out. We go, I don't know that that's real. And in due diligence, they're going to ask you for your engagement numbers anyway. But the high line is stick with the problem and how you solve it, and don't worry about the political stuff or the things that not everybody's going to know about. Because if you mention GameStop and everybody doesn't know the details, now they're confused completely. So just be wary of that.
Yeah. And the thing about Tony is that, weren't you part of the Silicon Valley Angel Group for a while?
So I'm on the selection committee for the Harvard Business School Alumni Angels. And I actually do a lot of sort of vetting for a bunch of different groups of startups. So, I'm coming from, I won't say a jaded place, but I probably see 200 to 300 pitches a year. And so I get to see the patterns, but I can also tell you, from an angel standpoint, the thing that most founders miss is the fact that most active investors are seeing lots and lots and lots and lots of pitches. So there's a certain amount of, sort of pattern matching where you've got to be careful not to step into the mess that was left by other founders who've done things like exaggerated sort of, numbers by putting in downloads where it's not necessary. So you don't know that that's a fake number as far as we're concerned, but I'm just telling you that most investors who have seen a lot of pitches, we discount that automatically. I think you've got a lot of good traction, and it looked like it was buried somewhere in your slides, but I would sort of distill it out. It's sort of like the comment I made to the last person. Think about the key elements you want people to have, which is, your data is not private, your access isn't secure. Here are the current avenues that you have to do that, and they're maybe not so easy. We're going to make it easy and available, and we've already got people that are showing that they're interested in it. That's your pitch.
Correct. Got it.
All right.
I tell you, this is money in the bank, everybody. Money in the bank. So great pitch, great company, feeling your excitement. At the end of the day, when you're raising money or any kind of a pitch, keeping it simple, to the point, the highlights that folks want is so important.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
And over the course of time.
All right. So have fun in the green room. Tony, I'm going to pop you back into the green room as well. Thank you for that. Tony, did you see what I mean? This is what we're saying right here. Pitch church tonight. That's you.
Fair enough.
100%. Okay. So my pal AJ, he's in Palm Springs, everyone, and having a great time with his darling. And so he comes in and out, but he's up in the mountains, so it's a little tricky. I'm going to bring you into the screen for just a second. But we have audio issues on your feed, but just so we can see you, it's so good. I'm getting ready to play with dolls now, AJ.
There we go.
Okay, so Widleen, you want to come in and join me here and then open up your deck? Oh, look at her. Yay. Who's ready to play with dolls? I interviewed Widleen on my show, Startup Life Live show, and I have to tell you, those dolls, I just can't get enough. And I know, AJ, you have a great story to share with Widleen from the doll you gave to your goddaughter. So much fun. Audience, get ready to ask some great questions. I know Widleen's going to turn on her audio too. But how great is it to be able to give a pitch? Tony, think about this with a doll in your hand. Right? Hey, Miss Hot Sauce. I love it. Fan in the crowd getting ready. Okay, you want to pop it into present mode? Beautiful. You're doing great. We're almost there, everybody. Can you hold up your doll before I add your thing? Does everybody recognize the outfit? Tell everybody.
Hi, this is the Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris outfit. Woo woo.
Little shameless plug there. Got to do it. Big moment in our country to have a woman vice president. Okay. Well, you know the drill. And of course, audience, get ready to meet Fusion Dolls. Let me just set the timer for you.
1 minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Widleen, and I'm the CEO and founder of Fusion Dolls. Our mission is for us to empower our kids to love and embrace themselves, and our motto is feel beautiful inside and out. This is my niece Jenna with her beautiful doll Kinara. Unlike Jenna, I didn't have a doll that looked like me. As you can see, her and Jenna, they look alike. Many kids don't grow up with dolls that look like them. It's because the toy industry is not as diverse. And this is what we bring. Okay, you see, that's the problem. It's not as diverse. So we bring you fusion dolls. Fusion dolls, we are so unique, from a different skin complexion to a different hair texture. Our dolls are very unique. They help our kids to feel beautiful inside and out. And this is one of our newest dolls with our angel, with our beautiful Vice President Kamala Harris outfit. And so thank you so much for listening to us. And one of our mission is really bring diversity in the community. And so if you really love what we are doing, definitely follow us on social media, Fusion Dolls, and all platforms, and visit our website so you can donate a doll to someone who's not able to afford it, or you can get a doll for someone in your area. And also, if you want us to share our story with your community, just connect with us, and we'll love to connect with you and help us change the world one doll at a time.
Ta-da! Alexa off. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm a fan, but I have to share, a couple of the folks in the audience right now. Let me just remove this here. We're on my seat box. Yay. Yeah. And the outfit, everybody loves that outfit. Was it
guys? I was so nervous.
You did great. I told you 99 seconds goes by really, really fast. Yep. And then Louis has a question. What scale are these dolls? Wondering how they compare size-wise to mainstream dolls. Not that they have to fit in. They're great as they are, since same-size dolls can share clothes.
Oh, so for Angel, so she is 18-inch. So she's similar to the American Girl version. Okay, she's 18-inch, and then I have 12-inch dolls as well. So they're like smaller. It's usually better for kids that are like from 3 years old to 4. But once they reach 4 and up, they usually want Angel because they could do everything with the hair. They could, she's taller. They can wash her hair, learn how to do hair on their own, and so on.
And Louis, the American doll, I know we can go a little into more details, but that's, that's a substantial doll that girls just go crazy over.
Yeah, the American Girl dolls, they're 18-inch, Yeah.
And then Shanti has a question. Is yours a nonprofit company, and who is your competition?
So Fusion Dolls, we're not a nonprofit right now. We are for profit, and then some of our competitors are Healthy Root Dolls, and then we have our Generation Dolls as well. But Healthy Root Doll is one of our direct competitors.
Okay, let me see. AJ, how's your sound? You ready to come in? You got a question?
Yeah. Woodland, can you talk about what your sales channels are besides your e-commerce store?
Yes. So right now we have different local boutiques in the Brockton area that carry our dolls. And also we have hair salon that have our dolls as well. And we have, companies that reach out to us to get the dolls in bulk so they can put, so they can sell in their stores. Yes. And then we have different people that have been reaching out to us, but these are some of the sales channels that we have. And we also on Etsy as well.
Yep. I think that's similar to Ms. Hot Sauce. How much has sales jumped since you started? What kind of percent increase has it? Good numbers question.
Yeah, so since I started, so we started in 2019. Since we started last year during COVID, our sale went up when everything happened, with the Black Lives Matter movement. More people wanted to know more about, how to teach their kids about diversity. And that's we had like more boutique reach out to us to bring our dolls to their stores. Like we even have dolls in Beverly, places that we not usually at, but like now they are there. They're also in Rosendales. And then so we have places. So our sale I went up, and then now we can sell worldwide right now. And so we have our dolls to Haiti.
And you can get back to Ms. Hot Sauce once you go home
Yes.
and crunch those numbers. You can say, well, I made 5,000 in the first quarter, or 500 or 200 in the first quarter of 2020, and it increased, 250% by year end. That's the kind of number she's looking for. Those are fun numbers to crunch, or at least give to your bookkeeper to do.
Mhm.
And Justin, very cute dolls. Would you need an individual's permission to use profit from their likeness?
I would love to be able to do that. Actually, in the news, somebody was asking me that, and in Brockton, they're like, "Are you going to make a Kamala Harris, identical doll?" And I said, "You know what? I'm not trying to get sued. I will need to get permission. I believe I need to get permission. I'm not trying to get sued. I'm a startup, yeah."
We'll find out, right?
Yes.
And then Seedbox Digital, which, by the way, everybody, a phenomenal web design company who does even more than that. Just amazing. And she pitched with us several months ago in 2020. Go check them out.
Yes.
Yes.
Martine, we're working together. I love Martine, Seedbox Digital.
Yay, Martine. And then, but to go on to her questions, do you donate any dolls?
Yeah. So we donate for December. Our customers, actually, I wanted to be able to donate, but you know how when you are a startup, there's certain things you can't do yet. But our customers are very generous. So they donated over like $100 for us to send to Haiti, to an orphanage, and also $100 for us to bring to St. Mary's Center for Women and Children, which is a shelter, a family shelter in Boston. And also near us in Easton, our customers donated dolls for us to go and bring to My Brother's Keeper. So that's something that we keep on doing because we believe it's important for us to give back. And it's great that our customers really line up with that.
Are you ready for Tony?
I'm ready.
Simon Cowell, Clemendor.
Start to sweat now. Okay.
Good luck. You're asking tough questions with a woman holding such sweet dolls, Tony, but I'm going to remove AJ and myself, and you two have a wonderful conversation.
Wiggly, there's nothing to be afraid of. See, here's the funny thing, and Andy doesn't even know this. My very, very first company right out of business school was a company called Hidden Heritage, which I started because my mom had started a company making Black Christmas tree ornaments, Christmas tree decorations, Black angels, carolers, because this was a long time ago. I'm old. But her thing was, you know what? She thought that Black kids should be able to see people that look like them around Christmas because all they saw were white elves and white Santas and white angels and white carolers and all the rest. And when she went out to do PR for her little Christmas tree ornament company, she was often put together with other makers who were trying to do the same thing. They had Black games, they had Black dolls, they had Black art, they had sort of all sorts of things specifically for a Black target audience. And so I ended up starting Hidden Heritage, which was essentially sort of an e-commerce marketplace, but before e-commerce was e-commerce, for all of those kinds of things, so that you could aggregate all of the things that were for Black audiences for essentially that lack of distribution problem that I think you're trying to get at. So for your pitch is a little different than everyone else's because you weren't out there pitching for dollars. You're not out there sort of pitching. You're sort of just sort of promotional pitch. But what I'm going to tell you is that for yours in particular, your product has a specific emotional resonance, which is, that it's not about, this cleans teeth better. It is the problem that I'm solving is not just that there aren't any Black dolls. The problem is, what is the result of there not being enough diversity in the doll selection? You sort of captured a little bit when you talk about the, love yourself from the inside out. If I were you and I were doing a pitch, and especially if it gets to some point where you're pitching for money, I would talk about the damage or the results or the outcomes of the lack of diversity and representation for things like dolls. Because there's probably statistics you can go on about, sort of low self-esteem among Black girls, sort of higher suicide rates, and higher imposter syndrome. The fact that, fewer Black women even pursue entrepreneurial pursuits. There's a lot of sort of fallout that comes from being raised in a world where you don't see yourself represented in certain successful corners or those kinds of things, which is why it's really interesting that you're saying, look, we're making the dolls, at least some of them, aspirational. We have a Kamala Harris doll. I think you need to sort of pick a lane and say, what is our superpower? Because you're right, there are other dolls out there that are black dolls. And so how are you differentiated from them? There are some companies that make mainstream dolls that make black versions, but those are sort of, they have the same features as Caucasian dolls. They just put black skin on the dolls. And so talk about, the reasons why these dolls need to exist and why they need to properly reflect the different ethnicities that they're sort of out there doing. And then talk about why your dolls are different from some of the Healthy Roots or whatever other dolls are out there. Whether you're picking an aspirational lane, whether it's because you have a different, you're making your doll specifically to be sort of the same size as other dolls so that they can integrate well and show a diverse culture with American dolls or American Girl dolls or whatever. But talk about your superpower, because I didn't get a sense of what makes you different than if I decided one day to call up a manufacturer in China and say, make me $100,000 dolls, just putting black hair on them and black skin on them. Now I'm your direct competitor, and I don't know what distinguishes you from anybody else. So I would think about your superpower, how you are different in the market, and then that is the thing that you're going to lead with. It's going to be in your messaging. It's going to be in sort of on your Instagram, on your Facebook, and all of that. And I think that you need that, because otherwise it's very easy to knock you off your pedestal and just go, I'm going to make black dolls too, if that's a big business.
I mean, we had 99 seconds, so I didn't get to talk about that, but we have some of the things that make us really special. Like each of our dolls have their own stories. We have like a book together with our dolls. And also because I'm a social worker, I have like direct connection with the kids like that. I used to help them with self-esteem. And I know how important it is for kids to have dolls that represent them. So that's all some of our superpowers. And also some dolls that are in the community, you're not even really able to wash their hair. Like our dolls, you can wash their hair, you can braid their hair, you can twist their hair. You can actually use all these things to be able to, because, hair is so important to us. And then so these are some of the things that makes us really unique. I just didn't want to go over time. And then
and then for things like your go-to-market, you might want to think about how do you sort of get people familiar with your product. So I might think about, schools, elementary schools or kindergartens or preschools in sort of black areas, and sort of give some to the school so that the kids in the school get to play with them when they're in school. And then they want one of the same dolls when they go home, and they're going to have to say, where do I get one of those dolls? So think about how do you sort of put your dolls in front of the kids so that they can sort of say, I understand that that's what that doll is. I like it. And now they're asking their parents for it.
I got to tell you, you'll watch this again with Lane, and you'll be taking notes. You'll be there knocking it down. And are you raising money?
So right now, since I started, I had raised over, let's see, $30,000, but that money was from grant, from competition.
I was just putting it out there so if people know that you're looking for funding, it's always good to Founders Live to just say, I'm happy to talk to investors.
Yes, I am happy to talk to investors. And then I'm also happy to talk to people who like to write stories, because podcasters, things like that, I love to share my story everywhere.
Beautiful.
Also, you have the kind of product that might be good for like a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, because you have a hard product and because you have a very specific audience. And so I don't know whether or not you've got much of a mailing list or sort of a following on Instagram. Yours is a kind of a business that I would say a large social following or an email list is going to be invaluable. So make sure that part of your strategy is to build those up, because you are looking for a very specific audience. And I think you've got a good product for that.
Thank you so much.
Agree, Adjoa. Agree. And
please drop in gems. Yes.
And listen, hop into the YouTube comment threads, because there's another great question there for you from Shauna. Okay, so, and I tell all the founders, if there are questions in the stream, be sure to hop in there and do that. Thank you, Adeline. Wonderful, wonderful. And Tony, as always, I got to tell you, it's pitch church with you.
Free.
Amen.
Amen. And hallelujah to that. Those gems is right. Okay, AJ, we're coming up to our last presenter, the one and only. Let me just get the right banner. I didn't do this correctly the last time. Olgi, right?
Hi.
Okay. How are you? Welcome, welcome. All prepared. You want to put that into present mode?
Absolutely. Got you right here.
You've been hearing all this great advice from Pastor Tony. Pitch Pastor
Absolutely.
Tony.
Yes.
And so, yeah, a little forewarning, but you've got what you need to do and to share your story. And AJ and I will see you on the other side. I'm going to set the timer.
One minute and 39 seconds, starting now.
Greetings from Boston. So most majority of runners land on their heels first. The problem with that is when you land on your heels, 2 to 3 times of your weight is applied on the ground, causing damages throughout your body that can give you such injuries such as bad knees or even flat feet. Unfortunately, nearly every conventional shoe on the market today fights against the natural elegance and strength of your feet and legs, forcing us to land on our heel. The heelless technology shoe has no heel that shifts the center of gravity forward that would allow you to have more performance, comfort, and longevity in a shoe. So we're here today seeking $1 million in exchange for 5% in our company. Your health and happiness is why we're here. This patented new design is disruptive and is innovative and will reshape the running, walking, and standing industry. So I ask all of you, come join me on this journey, and together, let us all start to heal the heel. Thank you.
Wow, there we go. And Alexa will definitely go off in a minute. So how much are these shoes? How much do they cost? Where do you sell them?
So we sell them on Amazon. First of all, let me answer the question. They're 120 MSRP. Wholesale is at 60 with the MOQ of 50. We sell them on Amazon. We sell them on Alibaba. We sell them on our website, which is smthedifference.com. We also sell them on Afterpay. For those that can't afford to pay the full 120, it gives you a chance to pay it in installments. So those are our current platforms right now. And we have one store location based out in Leominster, Massachusetts, which is closer to our warehouse.
AJ?
I love the tagline, heel to heel. Pretty awesome. My question is, so in terms of your IP, do you have a design patent or a utility patent?
We have both.
Or both?
Yes.
Okay.
And Justin wants to know, have your statement, hold on, AJ. Justin wants to know have your statements been verified or evaluated by a podiatrist?
So this research was actually conducted by Dr. Etienne Penka, who happens to be my father. He is the one who actually invented the shoe back in 1997. It took us about 20 years, and it's a long story, but pretty much fast forwarding it, he had to make a sacrifice between investing and launching a shoe or taking care of his kids. So I'm the youngest of 3. So pretty much we had to wait. And then finally, after I graduated college, I took on the project, which led me to China, where I had to live there for a year to come up with this shoe. So this went to a lot. And yes, it does have research backed up, to answer your question.
Great. Okay. And no fall, hold on. Love the idea and execution. Awesome. Do you have a question? You always have good questions, no fall. So when did you start selling?
We started selling in 2017. 2017 is when we started selling.
And so where are you year after year, over year?
Our biggest challenge right now is marketing. This company has been self-funded. We have no investors. We did this with just family. It's a family event. My dad, myself, my mother, and my 3 sisters, we all chipped in. My parents took out their savings, emptied out their 401k plan, and we pretty much put in everything to get this product out, because we know that people are hurting themselves and getting hurt with this problem that's happening. And so, yeah, our marketing is our biggest challenge right now.
Ms. Hot Sauce missed the photo. Can you pop it back up? Bring it back up and I'll pop it in.
Oh, you want the shoe?
Yeah.
Sure.
You didn't get enough of that there shoe.
Nah, no worries. My pleasure. Let me give it to you. Here it is.
All right. I'll add it to the stream. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and bring Tony in because I know he has burning questions. I can feel them through the screen. Hold on. AJ, I'm going to pop us out. Tony. All right, Tony, I'm going to leave you.
Okay. By the way, how do you pronounce your first name?
It's Olgi.
Okay, yeah, because I saw it written down and I thought, to me, it was like old guy. I'm the old guy. I'm the old guy. He's the young guy. I said, I don't know if I should call him that. it's funny. I seem to have a connection to a couple of the different things that people are doing. So love what you're doing, and I'll tell you why. I became a distance runner about 20 years ago, and I run 12 miles every Saturday, and a lot of it on pavement. And so about 8 years ago, I discovered the problem that you are talking about, which is sort of the heel strike injury thing. And what's interesting is, and I know 99 seconds isn't enough time, but there is a tremendous amount of information that's out there right now in terms of, you know, the health damage, the damage that you get from heel striking, sort of the extra pressure. You know, people have tried all sorts of weird, funky ways to get around it, like those shoes that look like socks. I forget what they're called. The ones with the toes, with the fingers.
Oh yes, the 5-finger toes.
Those are ridiculous. And so you can kind of go. I think you can lead in this particular case with a lot of the data that exists about sort of, you know, as running became a thing, you know, sort of starting in the 70s and sort of grew. It's grown to sort of tremendous popularity. But the result is that Nike got it wrong by having the thick heel, and people are getting damaged all the time. The traditional shoe right now has about a 12 to 15 millimeter drop from heel to toe, which is something people don't know about. And so what's happened is, in the last 3 or 4 years, companies have realized that this danger has meant that you have to create shoes that are designed to avoid people running on their heels. And so what we've seen now is there's a whole industry now around zero drop shoes or minimal drop shoes, which you kind of don't mention, and you almost make it seem like you're the only game in town for zero drop shoes. But it's important that you don't dismiss your competition. You have to embrace the competition so that you have an opportunity to talk about what is different between you and, say, Newton or Hoka 1-1. Because Hoka 1-1, interestingly enough, is probably the most well-known company that went to zero drop. And their whole thing is, we went zero drop, but we went zero drop with a lot of cushioning. And so that's their market. It's for people that need a lot of padding, but don't want to run on their heels. And so I run in Hoka 1-1s. I know a lot of people that do. So I don't know what's different between your shoe, for example, and the Hoka 1-1s, or even the Newtons, or even now a lot of the other shoes, like you know, the Adidas and some of the Nikes. Some of them are starting to have zero drop or minimal drop shoes. And so the rest of the industry is moving in this direction, which means you've got sort of a limited time window. But for the ones that are right now at zero drop, I don't know how your shoe compares to the Hoka. And I don't know who your shoe is for, the Hoka is not. So if you've got less padding than the Hoka and zero drop, that's a different market segment than if you've got a lot of padding and a zero drop. So it would be better to know who it is that you're targeting and why your shoe is good. It looks phenomenal, but you can't make it seem like you're the first guy in town that's invented sort of the heelless shoe, because there's I can go find a bunch of them right now, and I recommend Hokas to all my friends because I didn't know you existed.
I want to see.
So somewhere along the way, you've got to sort of talk about what makes your shoe special, and that's a real question right now. I want to know what makes your shoe different than the Hoka. I'll start with the Hoka because I know that one the best.
Okay, can I answer that?
Sure. That's a real question.
Absolutely. No. And those are all great questions, by the way. Thanks for those questions. So funny enough, when I was going through my business plan, I wanted to know, is there anybody remotely close to our competition? It was Hoka 1. However, again, what they did, like most other conventional shoes that are out there, other companies tried to do, the minimalistic approach. The zero drop is fine. The only problem is, as an avid runner that you say you are, what happens when fatigue starts to kick in? What part of your body do you revert back to when you're landing? You go to your heel. That's the number one difference between us. 2, what part of the shoe starts to get more damages for runners as they keep running over time? It's the heel. Hence the reason why an average runner will put on anywhere from 200 to 300 miles on their shoe. With ours, it's actually tested beyond that. Why? Because there's no heel to strike on. You're actually going to get a faster performance with our shoe, because when you don't heel strike, your angle of gravity is already shifted forward. Right. So therefore, you will never have to worry about going back. When you add cushion, you're actually encouraging it. Now, the minimalistic approach is fine, but for every avid runner, their foot morphology is different. So it might not always work for every single person. So
right, you have some people that pronate, overpronate, etc. But there's something that you just said that's wrong, which is the fatigue part. I've run whole marathons on the balls of my feet. And so fatigue doesn't, for distance runners, we don't worry about, what happens when fatigue sets in. There's no way I go back to running on my heels just because I know what happens when I run on my heels. And so
That's what you're elite. We're talking.
oh
How
God,
many
no.
people run?
Oh God, no. I am.
Okay,
I am
well, okay.
Remember,
Okay, this is
You're
not
I'm old
different.
guy. Remember,
There's
I'm
a
old
lot of
guy.
people that run.
I'm
There's
old
a
guy.
lot of people that run.
So
As Janine says,
I'm not at all. I'm not elite, but the people who I do run, because I started by doing marathons about 20 years ago, and so I do
Okay.
run with people that sort of run long distances. And so be careful because, for example, on my shoes, because they're zero drop, the heel is not the thing that wears out first. It is actually the sort of the forefoot that wears out first. But you made an interesting point, which is again something people don't know, that running shoes typically last 200 to 300 miles. I have to get new shoes every 300 miles, which is about once every 3 months. And so if your shoes last longer, that's a thing that should be in your presentation. Because again, even if it's short, it's about how do I distinguish from what's out there. So if you know Hoka and you go, here are the 5 reasons we're different from Hoka, then you need to embrace Hoka and then say, here are the 5 reasons why we're different from Hoka. And then be careful when you go and talk to a bunch of runners, because like if you're talking to me, I'm going, don't tell me about the fatigue thing, because that's not really my issue. But if the shoes last longer, that's good. If the shoes sort of are better for some people that either pronate or underpronate or have certain running styles, if I'm in that audience, again, it's a difference for me because Hoka, number one, only has sort of a number of limited styles. And I don't know whether you have a style that is sort of outside of what they offer already.
Yeah.
And so that would be very important.
And I have to wrap things up because we only get so much time. You guys are going to take this.
Tony, we're going to have to finish this one. You opened up. I might have to come out there to visit you. We're going to finish this conversation.
I will hook me up on LinkedIn. I'll send you my Calendly and you and I will jump on a private call.
Sounds good. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for your advice.
And then Olgie, hop into the YouTube threads because we've got, some great questions in here so you can go and answer them. Thank you, Luis. And then we have
send that on the private chat so I can see
no, so you go into the YouTube thread. So I will give you the link. You go in and you can just, the minute you get off here, and we're going to do the crowd favorite next, you're going to hop onto the YouTube link. I'll put it in the private chat for you. Then you'll see everybody and you'll see their questions in the comment threads.
Okay.
And because Justin's got a good question too. So that's great. So you want to go in and answer those really quickly.
Okay.
All right, great. I'm going to remove you guys. We're going to do the crowd favorite. And Tony, you'll be coming back and spending more time with the crowd favorite. I just, went to a whole nother level of understanding of running shoes. Yeah, so it was great. Thank you. Where are you? There you are, Ogie. Wow, AJ, I'm on a whole nother level of, I had no idea. It's a lot of it just was like,
I need a pair of shoes. I need a pair of shoes that could actually do the running for me. How about that?
I was going to say, you get to every 300 miles. I'm like 300 miles. Like that's just inconceivable to me. I'm a firm believer that the only person who benefits from running are doctors and shoe companies, but that's my bias. Anyway, are you ready to share the crowd favorite voting time?
We are ready. This is my favorite part.
Here we go. Guide everybody through the process, AJ.
All right, folks, very, very simple. All you do is open up your camera on your mobile device and target it towards the QR code. It'll launch your browser and it goes straight into the Founders Live poll. For most people, it's your first time voting, so it'll just ask you some very brief questions before you vote some demographic information, and then the poll is on the bottom of that form. And then you hit submit, and boom. If you're not on your phone right now, you can simply type in the URL, Boston Voting.
We don't have the right names in here.
What do you mean we don't have the right names?
Mine's showing October's.
Really? Hold on one second.
That could be a problem.
Hold on, let me.
Oh, yeah, Nick said he sent a new email link. Let me just bring this back out. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have to do another. The QR code works? Yeah, the QR code works, but it's an old one. And Nick sent you a new one. Want me to grab it?
Sure.
Let's see if I can go find it. Sorry, everybody. Maybe we'll do our trivia questions for a second. I'm not sure. It'll take me a few seconds because I have to open email. Okay. So let's see if I can find it. And new voting link. Okay, here we go, AJ.
There we go.
Did you get it?
I see it. Hold on.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So you got it under control?
Hold on. Yep. Let me add it to the slide.
And I'm going to get that YouTube link for you, Ogie. Hold on. Live. Oh, good. Widleen did it. Wonderful. All right. Thank you, Widleen. I'll throw it in there too. So, Ogie, in the private chat, click on that link and you can hop and answer questions for folks. Yeah. Well, Shanti, did it go to, if you can help us out in the comment threads there, Shanti, thank you. You were able to use the QR code, the voting link, but was it the right companies?
It was, yeah, the QR code is the right companies. It's the voting link that needs to be updated.
Okay, great.
So just so what you'll do now, Andy,
okay,
is
I
just
need
refresh the slide.
Yeah, hold on. Let me escape and refresh. Awesome. And go into present.
Hold on one second. Hold on. No, don't present yet, Andy. Hold
okay,
on.
I'm holding.
That was the voting results, the voting link. Hold on.
It's coming with Lane for the vote. Well, this is a first. We have had over 2.5 years of pitch events. This is our first time with the voting link that we weren't. Oh yeah. So Shanti said, if you use so if you go to the bit.ly link, everybody, then that will take you. So, I will grab that.
No, that's
no.
Oh,
hold on. Let me fix my screen.
That's the results. That's the results, Andy. That's not the poll.
Got it. Maybe assign numbers to the contestants.
Hold on one second.
Thank you, Nick. There's a voting link below the video box, he says. Please use the voting link that is under the video box. What video box? Oh, live TV, the cinematic tension. So good. And then the YouTube description has a functional voting link. That's what Nick is talking about. Okay. Right? If the host publishes the URL to the YouTube chat, it will be clickable. Okay, so let me go to YouTube myself. Hold on. Be right back.
All right, I updated the bit.ly link, so you could just refresh the slide and voting returns.
Okay, and yes, folks, in the show description notes, it's there as well. Got it. I have to get out of that though. Here we go. And
that works now.
Okay, so I can bring that in. Okay, should I refresh it again? Should I refresh it?
No, yep, refresh it again.
Okay. All right, refreshing.
It's January-winner.
Okay. And present and bring it into the screen. Thank you, Louis. And here I go. I'm putting it in here too for the link. Link is out to you on Facebook and YouTube, everybody.
So it seems like a lot of people voted by the QR code so far. But votes are still coming in, folks.
Okay. Are you ready to do a few trivia questions? Who wants to win a $15 gift card?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to bring this out of full screen layout and go over here and get some money for some people. So we have a question here. When you hear of a cheese being transported by a dragon, you may think of a fictional book, but in reality, sorry, everybody, hold on. Got to dump this other banner here. Ta-dum. There we go. But in reality, this is what an out of this world company accomplished. What company am I? I got to tell you, Stefan from QuickWick. You can tell he does this full time. When you hear of a cheese being transported by a dragon, you may think of a fictional book. But in reality, this is what an out of this world company accomplished. What company am I? All right.
I'll give a hint. The founder is probably, I think, either the richest person in the world, or he's moved down to maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's definitely top 5, but he goes back and forth from 1 to 3 to 2 to 1.
And he uses not Kraft. And the Founders Forge. Get in there, Tony. You deserve it for all the taking us to church. I got to tell you. And Michael, good to see you. SpaceX. He's got it too. Shanti, once they got into the system, once the 15-second delay happened. But Founders Forge got in there first. So bingo. I know how to reach Founders Forge. So great job. Yay.
Let's do one more, and then we'll announce the winner.
Perfect. Founded in 2012, I was finally able to have a profitable month in April 2020 due to the pandemic. If you're tired of masks and aisles, I can help. What company am I? Oh, that's a good one. If you use Stop and Shop or anything, you were sitting at home going, "Yep, I'm ordering."
That's a good one.
Okay, all right, so I'll ask Tony. Okay.
I'll give a hint. What's a good hint for this?
Oh, Solomon got it. There you go, Solomon. Instacart. Yay. Infusion Dolls Instacart. Hey, Founders Forge is donating theirs. So I'm just going to go to the next one that showed up. And it was Michael. Michael, ping me, LinkedIn, get me your email. You know the drill. Find me and get me your email address so that we can get you your $15 Amazon card. You never know what you might be needing to get someone for Valentine's Day. Okay.
We'll hook you up.
So find me and get me your email list. All right. So we're going to go right into, and thank you, QuickWit, for providing us with these questions. Very, very helpful and a lot of fun. And it stretches our brain and it gives us a chance to play in between the rounds with our founders, which is great.
Yeah, shout out to QuickWit. I mean, during the pandemic, I've been using that app like crazy because we're literally just stuck in the house figuring out what games to watch with the family. So download their app, you'll have fun, and you'll win some cool cards on the app too.
Okay, so Fusion Dolls, I don't know if you saw what Solomon said, but there you go. And let me just get rid of the question banner. And AJ, you want to tell everybody who's the crowd favorite?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat and Tony could make the announcement to the entire community.
Tony, bring it.
Oh, goodness. I get to make the announcement. Okay. Looking for it in chat. I don't know the answer. I feel like the guy that announces the winner of the Grammys or the Oscars.
And everybody knows that you're going to learn from Tony. So Yay. And so you want to stick around and hear what he's got to say because, again, it's awesome.
And the winner, drumroll please, is Dan from Exidio.
Hey-o. I'm on that Tony energy. That's what it was.
There you go.
I don't need the Diet Cokes, but hey, thanks. That was exciting.
I need the Diet Cokes to run 12 miles. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I've done 4 marathons, but I'm not on your level.
There you go.
Congrats to all the founders that pitched tonight. It takes a lot of courage to get out there and share your vision and your mission and how you're doing and put yourself in an opportunity to get feedback. But stick around because you're going to learn from Tony and Dan. And for those in the audience watching live, we would love to have you join us at the after party, or as we say here in Boston, the after party. And hopefully you'll join us. And let me just throw this up into the full screen, everybody, for just a second. That's how you get in. All the details, I will also put it into the comment threads. Okay, we can have more conversations with each other. All right, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove AJ and myself. You two have about 3 or 4 minutes to have a great conversation and go deeper into Exidio.
Okay, do you want to? Do you have a question for me, Dan, or how do you want to do this?
Well, I like your feedback a lot. I think it's really valuable, and I'm constantly looking at how I can better present this idea. And it's pretty esoteric technology, and we obviously didn't even scratch the surface of the depth of the tech. But what I need to do is distill that and make it easily accessible for people. So I know you have a lot of experience, so I'd love your feedback on ways that I could improve that.
Well, I'll tell you, when you say make it easily accessible, that really is the key. I'll tell you the number one mistake that I see founders make, which is they want to really make it seem like they are smart. So they try to use big phrases and cliche terms. And, it's sort of like, what was yours? Empowering access to Web 3.0. And, you want to sort of dumb it down. I know that sounds bad, but you want to make it so that when people hear what you say, it automatically clicks in their mind, regardless of whether or not they are a subject matter expertise in your domain or not. And so if what you're doing, how would you explain, and this is a real question, how would you explain what Exidio does to a 15-year-old?
Yeah. So first off, I would explain the benefits of using a VPN and why there's 2 main benefits, right? So to be able to have private access online and control your own data, and to be able to get access to content that might be geo-blocked, or you want to be able to use YouTube in a different country or Netflix. So then people understand what a VPN is. Then I say, great. But actually, VPN companies are a significant liability, and they're actually promising not to sell your data, and they are. And here's proof of it. But this is a new architecture. This is a new system that is being built where there's no company that's controlling all of the access, where it's you and I and everyone else coming together in a marketplace, and you can select any one person's internet that you want to route your traffic through.
Okay, stop. You already fell into my trap, okay?
Yeah.
15-year-old doesn't know what a VPN is. So when you say I'm going to talk about the benefits of a VPN, number one, you're sort of already getting away from keeping it simple. And you don't need to start with a VPN. You need to talk about why would a VPN, what was the initial thinking about why VPNs needed to exist? So talk about the problem. And the problem is secure versus not secure. And so you can say, when you use the internet, your data is available, and here's the things that happen with it.
You're naked,
right?
And
so
exposed.
In a sense, what I want you to think about is think about a before and after. Here's the world before Exidio, okay? And ignore sort of all that you know about VPNs and all that. But here's the world and the problem that we're solving. The problem that we're solving is most people are going to communicate in a way where they're going to get their data stolen, they're going to feel spied on, all of the things that people just commonly know. What we've done is we've created and then you say a network where you can have this without that, and where we eliminate this problem, and that problem. Super simple, doesn't require that you use the phrase VPN, doesn't require that you do anything other than talk about this was bad, we're good. So when you rethink it, I want you to think about it before and after, and basically Exidio, think of Exidio as the hero in the story. Okay, you show up, the land is populated by dragons and bad people. You're going to come in and you're going to take care of each of those. But focus on the problem that is the reason you exist. The problem isn't VPNs. The problem is networks before Xideo had a certain flaw. You're fixing the flaw.
Correct.
Okay? So super simple. And that goes for everybody that's listening to this, is dumb it down. Don't try to be smart. Don't try to sound smart. Just say, here's what the problem is. Here's how we're going to fix it. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. It's good feedback.
Any other questions?
Well, I guess, when you heard my pitch, what would you think of businesses? Like, what is your understanding? And obviously you only had 99 seconds, but businesses that would be able to apply the technology, or what was your understanding in that limited window?
Well, and see, that's a really good question. I did not get any sense at all from your presentation who your target audience was. I didn't know whether or not you were B2B, whether or not you were trying to go B2C. And I think it's really important for any early stage founder to have a really clear picture of, here are the people that I'm serving. I'm going to quote Seth Godin again, because I love Seth Godin. I went to school with him, went to college with Seth. But the other thing that he says that I quote all the time is, I'm not for everyone. You're not for everyone. So pick a lane, pick a customer initially, because while you may have long-term aspirations to become a billion-dollar company, initially you need one kind of customer to do one kind of thing. So focus on what kind of customer do you think has a use case where they currently need privacy and don't have good access to it. So what you want to look at is, who are the people who have a use case where they are going to be frequent users, or they're frequent. There are people who frequently have the problem that I solve, and who have this as a huge pain point because I'm not there to solve it. Those are your low-hanging fruit, and you want to start with them. You can expand to other groups later, but remember, most of the unicorns that started with a single audience. I mean, Airbnb started small. Facebook started on one campus. Yelp started at sort of city at a time. So you want to start small, but figure out who it is that has the problem most frequently and most painful. That's it.
Perfect. Yeah, and we obviously know who our customers are and what direction we're going, but I didn't convey that in a 99-second pitch. And so I want to get your feedback on if you had any understanding.
And it really is about use cases. If you can communicate the specific use cases where people are having this problem and it's not being solved, that's very effective to say, this is why we need to exist. Because that's one of the questions that investors are asking. Why this, why now, why you? So it's the why this, and you need to talk, this is why this needs to exist for these set of people initially. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Can I just get like a group shot here for a second with you going to church here? Come on. 1, 2, 3, and look at the camera. Yeah. Thank you for that. Wow, AJ, what do you have to say?
Wow.
Woo!
What an event. What an event. Amazing. Thank you, Tony. So, well, Tony, let's end with this. People don't know a lot about your background and how you really help startups. So talk to us about Founders Forge and where do you see you guys going in 2021, especially helping founders during a global pandemic that we've never seen before.
Okay, well, I'll give you a little mini bit of the origin story. I'm a big comic book guy, so I talk in origin stories. So I mentioned that, so when I got out of business school a million years ago, didn't know what I didn't know, tried starting my first business, which was Hidden Heritage, which we talked about a little bit. And I found out that asking the question, how hard can it be to start a company, is a really dumb question because it can be ridiculously hard. So started that company. It was a modest success. Decided that I loved startups and I loved the idea of building something from nothing and creating momentum from inertia. So I spent the next 25 years sort of getting better and figuring out what were the things that were ingredients in sort of creating a successful company. My last company, which was a company that my co-founders and I bootstrapped to a little over $100 million, we sold to Schwab in 2011. And after that, I sort of hit the circuit in terms of, I sort of jumped off the employee thing and decided to just be an advisor and a mentor for a bunch of years. So I started doing work for groups like WeWork Labs, SoftBank's Emerge program, Backstage Capital, Women's Startup Labs, 500 startups. And about 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to expand beyond that because I was tied to the cohorts and I wanted to do a deeper dive and work one-on-one with a lot of founders that I got to sort of decide this would be a great fit and they could really use what I was doing. So I focused on one-on-one coaching and recently sort of introduced a group coaching product. And so I do sort of I do weekly coaching with sort of my private clients. I do small groups of CEOs and C-level people from early stage founders. And then I'm just now starting, and this is the first time I'm saying it publicly, I'm starting to put together a course on how to raise your first sort of set of money, your pre-seed and seed capital, just because I do a lot of pitch events. I'm a judge in a lot of places. I'm on the HBS Angels selection committee. So I see a lot of the major mistakes that people make, the common mistakes. So I'm trying to put together a class this year, hopefully by the middle of the year, to help people sort of avoid the common pitfalls that are easy to avoid.
Yep.
And that's it.
All right. Dan, congratulations. Bravo, crowd favorite. All the founders. Hey, get all the founders. Whittling disappeared. Ogie, come on in. We'll just do
and before you go, just anybody on here that wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, I am super easy to find. The good news about my last name is I am there's only a very few Clemendors at all on the internet. So if you just Google my last name, you'll find me with ease.
I found him already, you guys. I found him already.
Right.
I gotta say, I don't know if I was the best pitch. You guys were great. I'm really impressed with both of your businesses. I think that you guys have bright futures ahead of you as well.
All right, so let's do another group shot, everybody, okay? So I'll do 3, 2, 1, look at the camera, bring in the dolls, and go, woohoo! All right,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, yes.
Awesome.
Excellent, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Whitley, I may have to send you. I still have some of my mom's treetop angels, so I may have to send you a couple of those.
I tell you, and I, you took me to school on running shoes. Not that I'm ever going to run, but unless someone's chasing me, or unless there's a sale, right? Isn't it?
There you go.
The pandemic is over, but really awesome, all of you. Just again, having the courage to come and do your thing. And to everybody who's tuning in, I got to tell you, we just love everybody who comes in locally and from around the world. You're all amazing. And we just want to put it out to any founders who are watching and stuck around this long. This is how you can apply and join the alumni. We have an incredible alumni. Let me go back to this right here. We've had several years of doing this. Let me bring it up to the screen. We've been doing this a while. We've got great alums. We've got great angels who come in and experts like Tony who help us out. They're amazing. But we also have some great founders. So please apply. Grab this QR code, Go to that link and apply and have fun. You learn a lot. You saw what people learned today with Pastor Tony. You gave so much great advice.
And understand, folks, even everyone presenting, understand the impact you're having on everyone at home sitting down, thinking about launching their business, but are like, you know what? It's a pandemic. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know how to do this. You are sending a loud message to everyone that, listen, you could make it happen. There's a community that's behind you. There's Founders Live, and there's so many other platforms that could really catalyze all the changes that you want to make with all your innovations. So thank you for having the courage. Thank you for inspiring so many other founders out there that are tuning in tonight and will be watching the replay of this. Thank you so much, and keep on trucking. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Nafal. Thank you, Angel. So amazing. And, congrats came in from many of the people on the line. Everyone, thank you so much. We will see you in the next quarter. We're doing a quarterly until we can meet again in person. Right, AJ? All right. Any last thoughts, AJ?
April 29th.
Okay. All right. Let me find that.
April 29th, our next event. Join us in for the after party if you want to engage with more of these founders and get to network with them even more. And there's some other folks that will join us in the room as well. Let's just have fun and let's just talk. So join us. I'll be joining shortly. And until next time, folks.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye from Founders Live Boston. Thank you to our incredible expert, Tony, to these wonderful founders. Great event. Thank you so very much for joining us. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.